watching the replay, give me just a second. I think one more. No, two more. All right, I think I got them all out. Don't have anyone in here, so if you're watching the replay, just give it a second to get started. I am going live really early today and taking a chance on not having very many people in here, but Peggy Go just made it in. Usually I go live about 6:15, 6:30, but I've decided to do it early today. Hey, Chris, howdy. So we're kind of off to a good start right now. It's gotten hot enough to where I have to wait for it to cool down. I do things early in the morning and in the evening, so I wanted to go ahead and go live and get that done so that I could go outside and get some things done. Teresa, Linda, Mormon. So I'm kind of behind a couple of videos, and that is because it is hot. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is because I'm doing things like I've been brush hogging and working on the goat shelter and just things that make it very difficult to film. Well, I mean, you guys don't want to see me on the tractor mowing, so, or at least most of you don't. So don't do that. And as far as filming what I'm doing on the shelter, I have to take the pieces of wood, whatever wood I cut, I bring it back up to my garage, up to the house, and cut it there, and then I carry the wood back out to where the shelter is. And so there's a lot of back and forth, and that makes it difficult if you're taking a camera with you, carrying it back and forth. And it's like just really hot lately. It's still raining. Like we got a few sprinkles today, but we got storms 4th of July. Now we got severe storms 4th of July evening, about 10 o'clock. And then Thursday we had storms, and it's just like, it's still raining, but now it's really starting to get hot and just making things a lot more difficult. And I see Kim is in here. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up if you're in here. Just, assume everything's going to be good enough for a thumbs up. Or I guess a thumbs down if that's how you roll. And let me know. I see people are in from Indiana and California. Let me know where you are viewing from. Peggy said, I told my husband we can't go out and work until right as the sun is setting. We had another inch of rain Saturday. Yeah, it's just like, just really hot and humid and still a lot of storms. Luckily though, we haven't had any tornadoes. I think Moore, Oklahoma has gotten a lot of wind damage, but that's typical. Like, I don't know why Norman and Moore have anybody living there at all. Because they just like a hot spot for tornadoes. Wendy says hi, Lorie, and everyone in the chat. Mrs. Joe, I think is what that says. Miss Joe, I think. MSJO. Teresa, Louisiana is in the house. Hello from South Carolina, says Heidi. Very hot and humid here for days. Yeah, I think that's just what we're going to have to deal with this summer, is the hot and humidity. And it's a lot better than a drought. The rain is a lot better than a drought. It's going to get hot. I'd rather have hot and rain. But so just what I've been doing is like late in the evenings and really early in the morning. And like I said, it's not anything to video. I keep thinking I'm going to get a video going. I keep thinking that I'm going to go. Like last Thursday, I went live instead of putting a video out. And it was hot that day. Remember, I took you guys out and showed you the new calf. And so if you didn't see that one, go ahead and go after this live stream, of course, go watch that live stream, because I was outside walking around and we went and looked at the brand new calf that I haven't, I don't think I had it on a video yet. I don't think I've done a video since that calf has been born. So go check out that live stream. And hopefully this, I haven't put out, I'm usually putting out videos 2 days a week, at least 1 day a week, but 2 days a week is what I've been scheduling, and I hope that this does not mess up the, I don't know how else to say it, but the analytics, the way YouTube pushes the videos out. You got to be kind of consistent for people to keep coming back, you know, expecting your videos to come out and watching for your videos, but also for YouTube to push out the videos and send out notifications. So I hope this doesn't hurt me too much. Jovita made it in. I'm early, but she still made it in. And I'm just a few minutes into this live. I can't see how much time I have in it, but not very long. Jovita's made it in. Jovita is in Texas, and I bet it's hot in Texas. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in Texas. That's just too hot. Anyway, so what is everybody doing to stay out of this heat? If you're on a farm or homestead or something like that, what are some of the ways, besides going out like super early in the morning, because it gets light outside at 5:30. At 5:30 is usually when I get up, but I have things I have got to do inside before I can go out. So it's like usually about 6:30 before I can even go out, and I feel like I've wasted an hour of daylight, because it's not. The temperature is just right to do some work, even though it's still humid. I mean, you get really hot and sweaty in the mornings. Jovita says, I'm in steamy hot South Texas. I didn't realize you were in South Texas, Jovita. I don't know where I thought you were, but I didn't realize you were in South Texas. Has everybody hit that thumbs up? Also, check out the links in the description below. I do have like a Amazon store, and if you use some of those links, if there's some things there, if you click on the Amazon store and you go and there are items there that could be useful for you on your place, and you buy one through my links, I could get a what is it called? I could get money from it. It's an affiliate link. The store is an affiliate link. Also, I have Jase Medical down below if you are interested in purchasing some emergency supply of antibiotics or some of your daily chronic medications. You can do that at Jase Medical. It's prescribed to you by a licensed physician, and it is sent to you, prescribed to you, and sent to you in the mail. And so go check out that Jase Medical link. That also is an affiliate link. And so when you make a purchase through them, I do get a commission. Commission is the word I was looking for. Oh my goodness, only 98 degrees in Dallas, Fort Worth. Jovita says 91 degrees here in South Texas, currently with a real feel of 103 under a very dark, threatening day. I hate it when I go to look for my phone and it's up there. I need to come up with another way I need another phone. Vicky Johnson says hello. You know who's not in here? Mom's not in here. Mom and Dad went out to eat, and so I don't expect to see her in here. They went to, I don't know, a steakhouse. They went a little way. I don't know if they went to Rogers or Fayetteville. They go anywhere to eat. I don't know. I don't understand it. I never go, or hardly ever go. I rarely go with them. They invite me a lot, but I rarely do, because I just don't like leaving the house for that long. Something can happen, like what happened while I go. When I got home from work, I got home from work early, and it was still hot. I went by Walmart, the neighborhood market, and got some dog food for Eddie and Gertie, because Eddie's got like 2 teeth. You know, he's got to have specials. And I was looking at dates today, and Eddie will turn 14 in October. I think it's October of this year. And Gertie's only a couple of months younger than him. So these guys are getting old. So they get special dog food. They don't get the dry kibble. And went and got some of that and came home, and it's like, it is really hot. And so I came inside and lay down on the bed for a little bit, thinking that maybe I'll get a nap. But that I heard a goat hollering, and which they do all the time. Like, they're noisy. One of them has something to say all the time, but it just kept happening. It just seemed, I don't know, it seemed different. And so I went out there, and that goat that doesn't have a name, that has the brown patch around her eye, she's the black goat with the brown patch around her eye. She had her head stuck in the fence. And these are cattle panels. So the first two squares are a lot smaller than the rest of the squares. So, but she chose to pick one of those two smaller squares to stick her head through rather than the top one. And she got stuck. That is the second time in probably 6 weeks or 7 weeks that she's got her head stuck in a fence. When she was over in front of the shop, remember, she got her head stuck in the fence during a rainstorm. And if that keeps happening, I will have to get rid of her because I'm not here all the time. And that's the kind of fence I have. Like, if I don't know, I can't, I don't want something to happen to her. She should be better off going to someone else who is out there more often. And I'm out there a lot, but someone that's like home all the time or has a different kind of fencing that she's not going to get her head stuck in. But what is frustrating about it is that none of my goats have horns. One of the reasons that I didn't want goats with horns was because of them getting their head stuck in the fence. And I wasn't home. And during the summer, they could get their head stuck and then, be out in the heat and die from that. There are a few reasons why I don't want horns, but that is one of the big reasons. And she doesn't have horns, and she still keeps getting her head stuck. Tammy says, I know who is here, Jovita. Gillum Farms is in here. Hey, guys. Sharon, hello, Lorie. So happy to catch you live. I'm glad you did too. So I usually go about an hour later from now. And I just decided to go live right now. Because later I want to be outside working. Tammy says, howdy, Lorie, and everyone in the live. Just got off work. Wouldn't you know it, it starts raining. We were just talking about that a while ago, how it's just getting hotter, but it's still raining. But I'm glad that the rain has slowed down, so it's not like every day, so that's better. But also, this is when we usually go into a drought, and I really dread that. I really don't want that. Peggy says, yes, I feed at 6:30 and water everything. But I go out again at noon I go out at noon to check water and gather eggs before the snakes get them. Then I go back out late evening. I'm not going out there at noon, not during this heat. But all my animals take a nap around noon. Noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, everybody's napping. The cows, the chickens, the goats, the dogs, everybody. So that means I'm supposed to be napping. So that's the way I look at it. Oh, let's see. Whose hat are you wearing, Tammy? I know it's yours. Yeah, it's my hat. It's Mercedes hat. Mercedes emblem. What do you mean, whose hat am I wearing? I thought you were early today. Yes. Kelly, I am. Joel. Just Joel. It's 12:34 a.m. So I almost read that out loud as it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I saw the AM, and I thought, well, maybe that's supposed to be a time. But that's what it says. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. here. I like your napping logic. I don't really have to have a reason to take a nap. I enjoy my naps. Texas, Virginia, howdy. How is it going? So I got a lot of the back pasture, not all of it, but I've got a lot of the back pasture brush hog. Some of you call it bush hog. We call it brush hog. Bush hog is a brand. The goal was to get at least most of the pasture brush hog before I let the cows out with their calves. I still need to brush hog up closer to the house, and then over to the side over here where there's that hill that slopes way down to the fence. I need to get that area. That way I can kind of look out and see the cows and see the calves. Now, sometimes the mom will take them out in the woods and drop them off there, but most of the time you can look out and see them, and that's what I need. And plus, I can't brush hog once I let them out here because I can't see them. I could run over them. But they're getting older. And I almost let them out this past weekend, even though I haven't brush hogged up here close here yet. But then I realized I need to band one or both of the calves. I haven't decided what to do. The first calf, from the smaller cow, I'm going to band, I think. I mean, he's probably going to get banned. If it was like one that was staying here, he would be banded. So I'm really having a hard time deciding on a lot of things. And maybe you can help. Let me read this real fast before. When your baby sleep, you're supposed to sleep. I didn't know it maybe belonged to another YouTube. Wait, what? What? Hold on, Tammy says. When your baby sleeps, you're supposed to sleep. I didn't know if maybe it belonged to another YouTuber. Oh, you're talking about the hat? No, it doesn't belong to another YouTuber. No, that's the Mercedes emblem. That would be cool. That would be a cool YouTube logo, wouldn't it? I think it's taken though. Peggy says, my husband naps all day, but I can't ever fall asleep. I barely sleep at night. Usually just 5 or 6 hours, but I never nap. Peggy, I don't sleep well. I can nap, but I really don't sleep well. I need a lot of rest. I just don't sleep well. I wake up a lot. I'm not able to take naps. I can lay down, but Gillum Farms, I bought the tractor home to brush hog here where we live. Oh, I brought the tractor home to brush hog where we live, and then I need to put up a hot wire to move some cattle up here to take care of the grass. You still have the brush hog, well, I guess you'd be out of a lot of cattle. Is that Mercedes cap? Yes, it is. Randy. Super Dave. Hello. No, I can fall asleep. I can fall asleep anywhere. Tammy has insomnia. I start telling you what I have and I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember what it's called. Will you quit breathing at night? Will you quit breathing not at night, but when you sleep? What's that called? Anyway, the more weight I gain, the worse it is. But I remember as a teenager going to the doctor and telling the doctor that sleep apnea. I remember telling the doctor that I was having problems sleeping and that I would forget to breathe and it would wake me up. And he kind of made fun of me. I was like 14, 15, something like that. And he kind of made fun of me and said, if you forgot to breathe, you wouldn't be alive. How do you forget to breathe? But so I've always had it. But as I get older and as I've gained a lot of weight, never been this big in my life. Anyway, it's much worse. So I sleep a lot, but I don't sleep well. I just recently started dreaming again. I didn't dream for a long time. I don't know if it has, what that has to do with sleep. I don't know if that has to do with, or at least I don't, they say you always dream, but I don't ever remember dreaming, well, in a while. But I am dreaming now, and it just recently, like within the last 6 or 8 months, have I started dreaming or remembering dreams. Jovita says, I would have been like, oh, okay, just let me forget to pay the bill. Pay the bill. Oh, for the doctor. Well, okay, so bill wasn't on my mind when I went to the doctor because I wasn't responsible for it. Like I said, I was a teenager, and sometimes, not often, but enough to catch my attention, I wouldn't breathe and it would wake me up. So like in my early 20s, I always dealt with like anxiety and depression, but like in my early 20s, I started having panic attacks. And then I quit having panic attacks probably about 25, I guess. And then here a few years ago, I started having panic attacks again. I am doing better with that, but I'm talking panic attacks where I can't go to sleep without waking up in the middle of a panic attack, or waking up in the middle of the night, and because I woke up, it causes a panic attack. And that's why I don't go far from the house, because I could have a panic attack. I don't drive myself far from the house. I can like ride with someone else, or if there's another adult driver, I can drive. But as long as there's another one that can take over, then I don't usually have a problem. Tammy says, I haven't been diagnosed by a doctor, but 2 of my kids' fathers told me a few times that I stopped breathing. My mom has it, and a couple of her brothers. Mama's in here. I can stand here a little while. We are eating at Logan. You got this live stream going at Logan's? By the way, guys, they went to Logan's. Do you take, I don't even know what that word is, Kelly. Gabapentin? I don't take anything right now. I was, and I don't know what that is, but I was taking Prozac for a while. Recently, when the panic attacks were like, it was really starting to affect everything, work and everybody else's sleep. And like just really recently, within the last year, and I got on a very small dose of Prozac, and I am not on that now, and I haven't had a panic attack. There's anxiety, but I haven't had, like a full-blown panic attack. So I'm just kind of watching that. I'm gonna stay off of the Prozac as long as nothing's going on, too serious. Jovita says, I have OCD about having appliances on or having doors unlocked when I'm not home, to the point I have to go home from work to check, and 99% of the time there's no issues. I will sometimes, if I let myself, I can do stuff like that. I do remember last night, I had a kind of a different kind of evening and checked the door, got up and checked the front door a couple of times. One of the things I do when I leave in the morning, I have to look and see the dogs that are inside, that are supposed to be inside, and that'll be Titus in a cage, and Dandy, and Eddie, and Gertie, and I have to look and see all 4 of them before I can leave. Otherwise, I would be back. And sometimes I have to look at them a couple of times, open the door back up and look at them again to make sure they're where they're supposed to be. because I'm doing stuff all the time, and you know, you can forget things when your mind's busy. You're not paying attention to things, and I don't want to accidentally let one of them out or leave one of them out. Eddie and Gertie are old. Dandy's not real young. Titus, he belongs in a cage. he just, and he's good at it. Like, he comes in and he goes and gets in his cage, his kennel. He comes to my room at night, but that's only been recently. Tammy says, I have had panic attacks over nothing. Seemingly nothing. Yeah. For nerve damage. Nerve damage. Why would I take, what would be the nerve damage for? You're kind of isolated. I take a daily Prozac, 5 milligrams. 5 milligrams, that's real, that's real low. If I do not take it, cry for no reasons. I call it my crybaby pills. 5, does that say 5? That's like really low. I thought my dose was low. Yeah, 5 milligram. That's probably one of the meds that you can get through Jase Medical. They have a lot of your daily pills that you take that are prescribed to you. They have a lot of them that you can like get an emergency supply for. Kelly, I took it for a few years till I lost my insurance. Can't make it a day without it. Like if I didn't take it, when I was having panic attacks, if I didn't take the pill, the Prozac, like a day or even 2 days, like it builds up. And so I didn't have any negative effects unless I thought about it. If I thought, did I take my pill or didn't I take my pill? So I'm not going to take it because I can't remember, but get in bed and think, well, I didn't take my pill. What if I panic in the middle? If I start going through that mess, then yeah, I could have problems. Overthinking things can get me into trouble. So I was going to before we got off on sleep apnea and panic attacks. There's Amy living in abundant grace. I was going to ask for your advice on some things going on, but I can't think of what's my essay. Kay Barnes is here. Amy didn't even write her essay. Like, she didn't even, I don't even think she looked at the comments in the last live stream because somebody left her an essay topic. But I was trying to think of what it was I was going to get your advice about. Oh, it was the cows. Good thing Kay Barnes is in here. Peggy Goad's in here. How do you know I didn't? Because you didn't respond. You usually respond to comments. So I have 3 bull calves, and I need 1. And one of them is at Amy's house, and I think it's like, is it like 6 months old, Amy? So I didn't get to process a calf steer last year, because I had heifers. And one heifer, I still have them. Well, I have one. So one of the heifers I traded with Amy and Chris for their steer, well, it's bull calf, but they were supposed to steer it 9 months, she said. Anyway, but it's at their house, and they don't have the head chute. They don't have any way to do it, to confine it, to do it. They have to bring it over here first. So, and then my 2, so that left me with 1 heifer, which I think I'm going to keep. You said that before, Amy. Unless you want it. Like, no, I'm good with the way we are. Well, I forgot what I was going to say because of her comment. Thanks, Amy. Unless you're just wanting a steer, no, we're good the way we are. We just, whatever you want to do. But my advice, if we don't trade back, my advice, where I need help is I have that one heifer I'm going to keep. I have the steer at Amy's house, which is about 9 months old. You can eat. I don't want to eat heifers. Heifers are worth some money right now. They're worth more anyway, because they have babies. I don't want to eat a heifer. I don't know. I just don't want to eat a heifer. I don't want to eat a cow. It just seems like a waste or something. And it's not a waste. It's just a mindset that I have. It'd be better to sell it and let somebody else eat it. So then so I'm keeping the one heifer, pretty sure. I have the bull calf at Amy's house, which needs to be, can you band them at 9 months? Do you have to castrate them at this point, or can you band them if you find a big enough bander? Okay, just females. What do you mean, just females? So, because it isn't even here yet. They've got to borrow a trailer and truck to get it here, along with a couple of their cows. So, then my 2 cows had bull calves. So I went from none to 3, and 3 is too many. And so if the smaller cow's bull calf is staying, he's definitely going to be banded, because the genetics aren't there for a good bull unless someone just sees him and wants him as a bull. The second bull, the brown, red, auburn, whatever, it's not done, whatever color you want to call it, he could potentially be a good bull. So I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to keep the one at Amy's house, and I'm waiting for somebody to tell me if you can still band them at that age. K Barn says, why do that always hides your stuff? Can band, just harder on them, hot, heat, and fly. See, that's the thing, that is what I was concerned with, is at this age and this time of year. I was telling Amy, I'm either castrating or banding. I am concerned. I am concerned about the flies, really. Not just the heat, the stress on them, but the flies. Tammy says the females aren't as good. The females to eat, they're just as good. I don't want to do it, because to me, the female is, unless it's a free martin, the female is used to reproduce. She's, she carries the babies. Takes one bull, he can cover a bunch of cows. So she's one that would bring in more. And it's that way with most animals. I don't know what animals where the female doesn't sell for more, unless it's like a peacock. I don't know, maybe if the males, something like that, the males are worth more in the peacock world. Yes, and females have less, generally speaking, have less meat for the weight. So you get more for the life out of a male than the female most of the time. But the steer, the red, brown, whatever color you want to call this steer, bull calf that was born the other day, his mom is a good size, and I feel like he's gonna be a good bull. He might not be, and there's no real way for me to be able to tell until he gets older. But he's gonna be pretty, and so he might sell. Right now, the females are selling for a whole lot more than the males. So whether I sell them as a steer or as a bull, I'm still not getting the money as I would out of a heifer, but the heifer I'm keeping. Why is that true among all animals? Because females reproduce. Females have the babies. You get more meat from her continually having bull calves, or you get more, like in goats and sheep, they can have twins and triplets. You're answering in a different way, because they need more fat for reproduction. Are you saying, Tammy, are you asking why the females are worth more than the males in all of them, or why there's more meat on them? Meat for the weight. The cows taste the same as the bulls. No, males having more meat on them than females. For one thing, they're bigger. They're just bigger. But also, Amy's pointed out they need more fat for reproduction. But like the bulls are bigger animals than the cows and the steer. I mean, as they're growing up, there'll come a time just like with humans. About your teenage years, the guys start getting bigger, and it's the same thing with the cows and goats. If you think about meat goats, it's starting to get cold. That air conditioner felt good a while ago, but I'm starting to get cold. But I've got to decide what to do. It's frustrating, and really the price is up on everything. I guess it's frustrating because of how high the girls are selling for, and I don't really want to sell a girl right now. If I sold one, I thought about also selling that smaller cow with the calf at her side, but I would get more out of the calf if I let him grow up a little bit and sold him separately. But I just don't know. Maybe if I just listen and don't say a word, I won't have to write an essay today. I think Pixie Ranger, I think Amy probably needs to choose your essay topic. Because how long have I been live? 37 minutes, 31 seconds. Pixie Ranger is the one that chose Amy's essay topic. Not that Amy wrote the essay or even considered writing the essay, but Mom is wanting to read that essay. Maybe Mom should come up with Pixie Ranger's topic. So the one that is mean to you. There's not one that's mean to me. There's a mom that's a little bit more protective than she usually is. I don't have any out here that are really mean to me. I keep a close eye on him. Belle belongs to Amy. How do you know I didn't think about it? If you write it, Amy, Mom wants to read it. I keep a close eye on Belle because she's not scared of people, and she's kind of rambunctious, but she's not mean. She wouldn't be out here if she was mean. But the thing with the smaller cow is that she is a smaller cow, and she produces smaller calves. Make it about Lorie. What? The essay about me? What the heck? At least spell my name right if you're going to talk about me. Kelly. Anybody know anything about sheep? I know I used to work at a turkey factory, and there were more meat on males than the females. Yeah, that's the same way with them, like the meat birds too. Definitely, they're bigger. Because I'm still looking at sheep. I'm still considering sheep. I have not made up my mind. Because I don't have the fencing yet. I don't have the fencing up. I'm trying to decide how to do it. I'm trying to decide whether to attempt rotational grazing. It wouldn't be a lot of sheep because I don't even know if I like them yet. I don't even know if I like that world yet. But my concern out of it all, as I sit out here and try to figure out how to divide the pasture up to where I can do rotational grazing the easiest way possible, and the cheapest way possible too. Also consider, shelter and water and food. And I don't want to go chase them. I don't want to like have to move food or water or try to find a way to get water out to one of the pastures way out because I'm rotating them. What I'm looking at is probably doing like a half a wagon wheel kind of thing where they have to come up to the same spot to drink. I'll start to say eat, but to drink every day and to come to their shelter if it rains, and then split it off in like wedges like that, and probably with cattle panels rather than electric fencing or any other kind of fencing, because I am not one that wants to be out there moving the fencing. And I see these people doing it all the time, but these people that do it all the time, most of the time they don't work at all off the farm, or they have somebody else in the household that can help with other chores, if not that chore. So I can't do that. But my biggest concern, because I can figure that out, I'm pretty confident of that. My biggest concern is the ram. If anybody has or has had sheep, and more specifically dealt with having a ram on the farm, let's discuss that. Because rams are notorious for being kind of aggressive. And not necessarily just like, even if they're friendly to your face, don't turn your back on them because they're going to ram into you. So I'm trying to think that through. And also, when you separate the ram from the flock, I don't want him in there all the time. I want to control when the babies are born, and I want it to be done the same way my goats are done, which is in the spring. So then I'd have him alone. Sheep are bigger than the mini goats that I have, so I can't probably can't put him with the bucks because he'll be a lot bigger than the bucks. So I mean, that's the biggest concern right now. So if you have any thoughts, any advice, any videos, podcasts, I don't really want to read, lay it out here for me, lay it in the comments, send me an email. You guys can follow me on Instagram. Don't send it on Instagram, but you can follow me on Instagram if you have Instagram. I'm trying to get that Instagram up. I'm gonna look at this. Hopefully somebody said something about a ram. I'm gonna get Katahdin sheep, hair sheep. I know there's other hair sheep. Katahdin's what I want, just based on what I've seen and been reading on the internet. I don't want to book them. Kelly says, I love coming in here chatting. Thank you for making it so I'm not always alone. Well, Kelly, nobody needs to be completely alone. I like to be alone sometimes. And I'm glad I started this live stream, but today was one of those days where I really wanted to be alone. I didn't want the cat laying on my chest. I didn't want Gertie coming up and talking to me. I don't want Titus trying to play. I just want to be alone. But I'm glad I started the live stream. Hello from Davenport. Remind me again how much land you have. Tammy, I have 19 and a half. But that's everything. That's my front yard, my back pasture. I couldn't even tell you. I'll have to look it up. I got a map. And that's another thing I was looking up on the internet to see if there's a better one. I can't even look at the map to tell you what the name of it is because I'm going live on the phone. But I have an app on my phone that shows the map of my place. And I don't know what you would use the app for, but I found it and in using it because I can like draw out a perimeter line and it can tell me how big that is. I'm only looking at maybe an acre or two. Two would be top for the sheep. I don't plan on having a lot of sheep. I don't know if I like it, and I don't know if I'll be able to handle the ram. I need to figure out a way to work them. I need to figure out a way, to have a way to funnel them into a certain area and be able to work them that way in case something goes wrong. Maybe they need their hooves trimmed or they need whatever. But I also need to figure out what to do with a ram. But to answer your question, Tammy, 19 and a half. Good afternoon, Sharon Walker. K Barnes is cooking breakfast. Breakfast, does that say breakfast bar? For hubby's breakfast, egg, sausage, cheese. Pixie Rangers picking on Sharon. Sharon might not even know. Y'all picking on people, they don't even know what we're talking about with these essays. Carol, hello from hot Georgia. I bet Georgia is hot right now. Hope you talked with Cassie. Have you talked with Cassie Walker about sheep? Yes, she keeps sending me pictures of sheep for sale. I was like, I'm not ready yet. She said, oh, this is a pretty one. And I don't want a pretty sheep. I want a meat sheep. They're not supposed to look pretty out in the pasture. She's got different sheep. She's got the small ones. And I imagine her little ram could do a lot of damage if it rammed into her. But he's nowhere near the size of a full-grown Katahdin ram, rather. I said lamb. But yes, to answer your question, we are talking, but it's different because they're, like hers are pets and are sold as pets, and they're smaller, and there's our wolves anyway, too. That's another difference. How are the calves? Meg's little house in the country. They're good. I don't know, were you in the last live stream? Thursday's live stream? It was like in place of a video. I showed the new calf. I don't remember if you were in there. If not, go look at the last video because I haven't put a video out on it yet. Not video. Go look at the last live stream that I put out Thursday because I have not put a video out yet. I haven't put out a video in a week. I usually put 2 out a week, and I've missed 2. I like to be alone, but not 24/7, 365. Are you always alone? That's bad. I've been that way for a couple of days. Donna says, hi, Lorie, we have storms. I may lose signal. Oh. I hope we don't have storms tonight. Little Southern Brothers. What's up, Donna? Good evening. Who even am I to catch you two times now? I don't know. Blessed of the Lord, I would say. Peggy says, we own 60 acres, but the app shows we have over 1,000. We have people calling, trying to buy land all the time. You should sell it to them. Yeah, I don't know what app you're using. I don't know what app I'm using. I can't look it up because it's on my phone. But if you know of any apps that I can use to like plan out, let it measure out on the map, the acreage, how much I have, and so I could like, play with it and put up dividers where potential fence might be. That would be cool. Like I said, in the comments, in the chat, better in the comments because it's easier to go back in the comments and look at what you wrote, or email. You guys can email, We used electric net fence for the sheep, and we just made the pen smaller when we needed to deal. Hey, that's a good idea. When we need to deal with the sheep, you just make the fencing smaller, and you can do that alone. This is true. So I don't know if I want to mess with that fencing. I have toyed with buying that fencing for a while. It looks like a good idea. Like, people really like that fencing, but how you had one, Kelly? You had one, electric net. So how hard is it to gather it up and move it for one me? Yes, she has a baby doll, and it's another Harlequin. Donna says, blessed indeed. Very easy. It's not, I'd have to buy, like, I don't even know. So that's a good idea. That's a good idea with sheep. Ask Gary Walker, he knows. So Gary doesn't know how hard it would be for a woman my age. Gary knows how it is for him, a man who's 10 years younger than me. He uses his tractor forks. I don't have tractor forks. I don't even have a tractor. I use Dad's tractor. That's the thing, is I got access to stuff, but I don't have anything. I think that electric fencing would be easier to move around if it were stiff panels. Yeah, because I move cattle panels. It's not really easy, but I just envision the fencing getting all like knotted up like a rat's nest, bird nest, something like that. Then I'd be upset, because that I don't have time for. I would rather have something heavier and a little bit more difficult to move than to have to sit down and untie a bunch of knots, especially knots on something that's like $500 or $600. Little Southern Brothers, I ran across a channel where a woman takes it down and moves it, but she is a little younger than us. Let me find the channel. So I have seen that. Maybe not that, but not what you're talking about. Go ahead and look for it. But usually they're younger than, like quite a bit younger than us, 20 years younger than us. I have not seen a woman 10 years younger than me doing it by herself, like doing the farm and moving the fencing by herself. What I do like about those fencings, though, is that it can be semi-permanent. You can leave it there for a while. They have some that's permanent, and then semi-permanent, and then some that you move all the time. I have seen, like, Fowler Family Farm have some problems with the stakes, with as dry as it gets where they live. And I started to tell you where they live, and I don't know if that's something that they give out. So they don't get as much rain as I do here, and when the dry season hits, it's hard for them to get the stakes into the ground. It's hard for a grown man to get the stakes in the ground. Like, where does that leave me? Kelly says, okay, I'm 60 and I can do can't even read your comment. Pot one pole over. I can't read this with glasses. Maybe put one pole over, then the next, well, arm, okay. Put one pole over arm, then the next, one arm to hang, the other, use the hand to pick it up. Ditto ditto is quite the leap. How old are you? How about I do a video on that? How about that? That's what I'll do. A video. Pixie says, Kelly, she's 104 but eats a lot of preservatives so it looks younger. Put not pot. New Hartford Farm Co. Probably younger. But another thing is, I'm going to put this in here so I don't forget. I don't want to, when I rotate, I have already decided that I don't, yeah, I'd say she was younger. She's like, this picture, she's like she's in her 20s. She may be in her late 20s. I don't want to be out there moving them all the time. I want to, because I have too much to do. It's not just the moving, the fencing. Now the fencing, those fencings are awesome. It would be really, really nice, like, to be able to put birds in it. But as far as, and the idea of putting them out and bringing the sheep in, I like that. But I don't want to be out there. I don't want the sheep to take up my time. So with the cows, the cows really, they don't take up a lot of my time at all. The problem with the cows is when something goes wrong, it goes really wrong, and it's a really bad thing. If they get out, it's really bad. If a calf gets stuck, that's really bad. It hasn't happened here, but it's happened at Amy's place. Hey, Judy. Late babysitting my granddaughter, Nova. Someone told me one time that age is just a number. It's put on the miles. It's the miles you put on it. Dude, yeah, age is a number until you get to a certain number, and then it starts to hurt. Anyway, so cows, I like cows. But the problem is when something goes wrong, it goes really wrong. The other thing with the sheep is there's potentially more money in the sheep, in that you can put more sheep, you can run more sheep on the same plot of land. So like, I don't have a lot of land. You have sales more often, whereas it takes a cow a lot longer to give birth. Well, not a lot longer, 5 months to 8 months. That's not that much difference, or 9 months, but it takes the calf a long time to grow out, and you could, get your money on your crop a lot faster with sheep. Do I want the sheep to make money? I don't know. I don't eat sheep. I don't know. It's just been something that I've wanted to do since before I got goats, and I figure I probably better try it at least once. I thought I wanted pigs, and I decided I didn't want pigs. Look at donkeys. They take forever. Yeah, I don't want a donkey. But I hope that the sheep don't cost money. Now everything costs money up front, but like, you do what, Amy? You do. I do. I mean, you're right, I want money. I'm just saying, spider. Die. Thwack. Yup. You want a donkey. Okay. I don't know why. I don't want a donkey. Oh, they're cute in somebody else's yard. I don't know. A mule. A mini mule. A big mule. Giant mule. Standard mule. Mule I like. Look at that look of satisfaction. That joker had the nerve to come across just plain as day across my floor. I'm scared of them, but if I don't kill them, then we've got a bigger problem. If I lose them in the house, we've got a huge problem after I've seen them. And I got fly swats in every room, 2 in my bedroom, and little sticky strips. Oh, Amy, I had to have a baby lamb one time, and that thing was psycho. It didn't stay too long. Was it a ewe or a ram? And why? Why did you have it? If you had just one, I'm sure it was psycho. First time comment. I normally watch on my TV and can't comment. Been watching you since Okie Expo. I'm from Kokomo, Indiana. Does that say Kokomo? Is there Kokomo, Indiana? Kokomo, Indiana. I know some people are singing Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you. Well, thank you, Stephanie, for commenting. So glad to hear from you, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Everybody's saying hi to Stephanie. What about trying to rent a ram if you like the use? I don't anticipate having any. You should see. I should make a video of my bloopers. I should have a bloopers video, because sometimes I do that. I'll be talking and then just say some crazy thing and have to start all over. I usually cut that part out, like except on a live stream, I always cut it out. I don't anticipate having any problems with ewes. I have goats. And as long as the animal doesn't kill me, there's not going to be anything harder than goats, except maybe pigs. Goats are different. Goats are always getting in trouble. Goats are always trying to get in trouble. Goats destroy everything and can always get out. I don't think ewes are going to be the problem. The problem's going to be the purpose of the animal. And if I can't have a ram, then there's no reason to have the ewes. I don't know how easy it would be to rent a ram, but if I rented a ram, I would still be dealing with a ram. You don't, usually when you rent, you don't bring the flock of females to the male. It's the other way around. I can't remember what it was, but we couldn't do anything with it. It would just run its head into everything. It would run over you every time you got to. It's probably a ram. That's what I'm saying. That's what my concern is. Sheep keeper, and it's great watching the sheep have lambs. We might try to contact Cassie with Walker Farms about sheep. We were discussing that earlier. Cassie and I have talked about sheep, but she's actually trying to encourage me to buy sheep. She keeps sending pictures. But the thing of it is, her sheep are different from what I'm wanting. I'm wanting Katahdin, and she has baby doll and or harlequin or cross, whatever it is. She's got the little hobby sheep. They're smaller, and they're also wool sheep. I'm wanting the bigger hair sheep for a different purpose, not a hobby, not a pet sheep. I saw my first air show in Kokomo. Air show? Aren't you related to Cassie and Gary? I am not related to Cassie and Gary. We are friends. I'm not related to them. And they're probably just as happy about that as I am. I'm kidding, but we are friends. Cassie's ram is different, Judy. She would rent her rams. Her ram is not the kind that I need. If you need a ram, you never know what type of ram you will get if you rent a ram. You never know what time around you begin. This is true. My expectations was first it would be like Mary had a little lamb. I can hold it. That's funny. What's funny is you're probably telling the truth. what could a little lamb do? Hey, that little guy doesn't care how big your smell. I do. I want them. I want the offspring need to be big. I know you're trying to hook her little ram up, but plus he's a wool sheep. These that I'm looking at are hair sheep, and y'all don't know how many times I almost went and came home with 2 or 3 ewes. I thought about maybe getting 2 or 3 ewes that were already bred, and just like going through that process. But the thing is, I've had goats, and sheep aren't exactly like goats, but they are ruminants. They have the same parasites. I don't know which one is more prone to problems with parasites. Would it be the sheep or the goats? But I have dealt with parasites with the goats. I do know goats need copper. Rams, sheep in general cannot have copper. Maybe traces of it, but not copper will kill them. I think sheep need selenium. Is that right? Like more of it. They need more of it for everything to go right. If it's not in the ground, which it probably isn't here. Why is it hid this ditto? Everybody's laughing at Donna. I didn't, because we believe you, Donna. Hi, Lorie from Massachusetts. Smack the thumbs up, says Ditto. I'm serious. I really thought that Tommy got it, and I went to the barn to see it. Hold up. And we opened the door to the stall, and it charged at us. We slammed the door, and it slammed its head into the door. Yeah, that's a ram. That's what I'm talking about. That is a ram. My nephew is showing sheep this year at the Washington County Fair. This year, he is showing sheep, long-haired sheep. Keeps jumping. Hang on. Long-haired sheep, probably the kind you want. Probably so. Washington County. Benton, Washington. Is that Fayetteville area? Is that Arkansas? Is that just like another county altogether? Washington, maybe in Washington, I don't know. There's, why Washington? How many Washington counties are there? About to find out. Oregon. It's also Arkansas. Oh, there's an Oklahoma, Washington County, Oklahoma. I did not know that. That's what it says here anyway. So yeah, Washington's in Fayetteville area, Weddington, West Fort, Winslow. Which Washington County? But with sheep, when they're pregnant, they can get... I'm gonna have to put on my glasses for this, Judy. When they're pregnant, I can't do this. I need a pause button. Okay, let me think of what you're trying to say here. Are you trying to say coccidia? Rhode Island. She says I hate spell check. So it is Rhode Island. Doesn't say Rhode Island here. I said, where is Washington County? It shows me Oklahoma. It shows me Oregon, Arkansas. I understand. Pixie Ranger understood it. Yeah, that I feel like spell check, or not spell check, but autocorrect. I feel like autocorrect is getting worse. To say I was disappointed is an understatement. Tommy said, "Did you think you could really hold this thing?" I said, "Yeah, I did. What's wrong with it?" He said, "It's an animal, Donna." So are puppies and kittens. It's not, it's Pixie Ranger. It's just a tiny place in a tiny town in a tiny state. Well, it's all right to be little bitty. I'm laughing. Judy's got me laughing over here because I think she's trying to say coccidia. Goats can get coccidia. As a matter of fact, the only goat the only goat that I lost, other than like at birth, was it was a kid, like it was young, but it was from coccidia. I did not know anything about coccidia. I didn't know the signs. I didn't know the one and only that I lost was from coccidia. But the thing with sheep is and goats is the barber pole. And sheep, my understanding, all of them have barber pole. Amy, if you're still in here, do goats have, I know they can get it, and I know it's a really big deal. I know it can kill them, but do they all have barber pole? I'm pretty sure sheep do. Yes, yes, yes. I know, but I like Pixie Pixie Fairy from Tinkerbell. Tommy just came in and I said, "What your impression of the lamb we had?" He said, "Crazy." Yeah, the boys are crazy. All boys are crazy. Amy says, "I've heard that they all carry some, but don't really know." So I have taken fecal samples into the vet, and I don't ever remember any of them telling me anything about barber pole. Most of the time they say, yeah, you need to do something. Here, take this, or give them Corid or whatever. Or they'll say, you don't have any, that I didn't see any. And it's like, you don't see any? Like, and I don't rotate my goats on pasture, so I don't know. So people, but at the beginning when I wanted sheep and ended up with goats, they were telling me, like online, enough people said, get goats first and learn goats and then come to sheep because of the parasites. And then I had a goat in the vet. I've had to take them to the vet a few times for different reasons, pneumonia, coccidia, whatever. And that vet, I'm trying to think of who it was because there's several at that clinic, but he told me that goats are harder with like the parasites. It's hard to keep the parasite loads down on goats than it is sheep. But I imagine it has to do with how many you have on any pasture, like whether if you're rotating them or whatever. I don't know. Beginning to get concerned about the sheep parasite thing. Nothing like a little bit of God's green trees and wine. Coccidia is awful. Last year, my favorite bison ranch lost several red dogs. coccidia. Yeah, coccidia. Yeah, cats and dogs can get it. I don't think it's the same. Like there are different strains of it, if strains is even the right word. But yeah, coccidia is a bad deal. Birds can get it. Chickens can get it. Did you get my food, Mom? Better have gotten my food. My food is always cold because they go way out to go get it. When they go eat, there's no limits to how far they'll go to go eat. Hey Lorie, how you doing today? I think the last calf brown one is so cute. Love that color. Well, you have a good night. Love you, girl. You leaving me? Tammy? I agree, Judy, about God's green trees, not the wine. Kelly doesn't like wine. Sheep gets really bad where can't walk. I mean, goats get it and they die. They can die. If we're talking about coccidia, what else could that be? There's a lot of things that goats can get, a lot of problems that they can get. But I haven't had a really hard time. I mean, I've had some hard times with goats. I've had to take them to the vet, but I haven't had some weird, crazy stuff, like Amy listed. I mean, I don't even know. Like, you can't even think of anything. But I've dealt with a few different types of parasites and infection and pneumonia. Pneumonia I've had to deal with a few times in the winter. Well, the last time I took Sky, she had, I don't know, they didn't tell me what kind of parasite she had a heavy load of some sort of parasite, which they gave her something for it. It wasn't coccidia because they would have told me just give them cord. Cord is over the counter. So they would have told me just give her cord for the coccidia, and she had pneumonia. Well, I am going to go ahead and get off here. I've been on here a while. Thank you guys for coming in. Share my video when you see one come out because I'm going to need it. I'm going to need the extra hours. I'm going to need the extra push on the videos to get those started back up. If you guys have any, wait, Judy says, wait, we got to wait just a second, Judy. Go ahead and I'll wait just a minute though. If you have any ideas on the ram sheep thing, send me an email or leave it in the comment below this live stream, or on the cows, the like bunch of boys that I have. Is Amy going live next? I have no idea. Amy, are you going live next? Okay, Judy, hurry and ask your question because I gotta go. Hope you get a few minutes to relax. Thank you. Are you going to learn how about? I don't know what that means. Amy's just said she's going live at 7:30. I don't know what that means, Judy. Bye, Peggy. Meg's little house in the country. Judy, I'm waiting on this. Gonna have to put it in the comments. Shave them. The sheep, no. They're hair sheep. They will shed. They will shed their hair in the summer.